when I was 12 years old, or just before I turned 12, my father died, and at that point, I just started living my life to please me, and also I've been raised Christian too all along. My mom was a very strong Christian, but I don't know if I never really did know God, even believe in Him, which was actually at the point when I accepted God into my life here. That really shocked my mom, that I never believed in God the whole time, But I lived my life starting at 12 just to please me. Jump ahead, I moved, I was all over the United States. I played music most of my life. And then I wound up in Atlanta, where I moved there basically for the music scene, but I wound up getting deep into the drug scene. I pretty much even just let music go. And I started, I've been doing drugs pretty much all my life. I'll go back to 12, I started around there, I'd smoked my first joint. But when I got in Atlanta, I really got in deep. I got involved in selling drugs, and I always kind of had a addictive personality too. And I'll touch base on that. God really can use people with that addictive personality. I didn't know that then. Like I said, I didn't even believe in God, but I knew I wanted what I wanted. I wanted to please me. So I've met some people in Atlanta, and I moved up in an organization dealing drugs, and once again running all over the United States. I started out with small amounts, and I moved up. I wanted to get to the top. I heard Pastor Bob talk about this before. That's where I wanted to be. I wanted to know who I could get the best deal from. And I went from ounces to quarter pounds to pounds to hundreds of pounds. And then I started making more money than I ever made in my life. Satan definitely made a season of pleasure for me, because I was making just ridiculous amounts of money. And I started, at that time too, I started smoking crack. And I remember I was making enough money to where it didn't affect my financial situation. I could smoke all I wanted to for days and still have money and crack. And that went on for a while. And the people I was working for, it was organized crime. They kind of caught on something wasn't right with me, and they even told me, you need to quit doing this cocaine. And I told them I'd quit. But I didn't. I just hid it better. And then one day, it all fell to pieces, and the police were busting me, and at the same time pulling a U-Haul up to my house, and I was like, what's that for? And they're like, we're taking everything you got. I had acquired quite a few nice things, even with being a major crackhead. And I went to jail for a pretty good while. And the whole time in my head, I was like, man, I can't wait to get out and get high again. I just can't wait to do that again. But when I got out, I had made the people I worked for, the group, angry at me because I lied to them. I had, for a time when I was working for them, proving myself time and time again. They were just like, man, you're a brother, you're family. I put their kids through school. And I was family with them. I'd been busted and not told on, and with their loads, shipments of drugs. And it was big. They paid off. One time I got busted with well over 100 pounds, and I don't know what they did. They paid off the people, and I never even got indicted. Nothing happened. Anyway, there were some scary people to get down to it. But I made them mad at me. They wouldn't have anything to do with me. I got out of jail. I didn't have anything. And at that point, though, all I wanted to do was smoke some crack. I had become a full-blown addict. So I started living another season of homeless, losing jobs. I would get a job. I'd work good for a while. I'd do well. then I'd smoke crack all weekend and not come in on Monday, and just not, anytime I get some money, spend every bit of it smoking crack, and I'd get fired left and right by people I used to deal drugs to. That's how I knew all those guys, was because I used to sell drugs to them. And they hired me when I needed a job. And eventually I made all them mad at me, you know. And I was worthless to work for anyone any good. Then I got involved with an organization running prostitutes all over Atlanta. You know, and I was doing that so I could get high. And I kept doing that. I kept trying to work, you know, but I would stay up all night doing that, and I'd try to come in and work a construction job. I'd get fired from those things. I met, she wasn't my wife then, but I met Janelle doing all this, and we were addicts together. And I put her on the spot, but yes, we were addicts together. And just long story short on that one, eventually I got involved with some people that had a credit card scam going on, and I got busted in that. And in Alabama, I didn't even know we were running around so much that I didn't even know I was in Alabama. From Georgia, you know. I mean, I was all the way from Atlanta. We were just, it was on a credit card scam trip. And I got busted there, and the bondsman there, my mom, you know, I called my mom. I thought, Mom, please get me out of jail, you know. And so she talked to a bondsman there, and my mom all along, she'd been talking to me about Christtown, but I never would even listen to her about it. You know, it's just like that. For one thing, I didn't want to quit using drugs. But he talked to her, and she's talked to him, and she told him about, she wished I would come to this place, Christtown. So he wasn't necessarily court ordered, but he told me that I'm going to bond you out, but I'm not going to bond you out unless you go to this place, Christtown. So I was like, man, I got to go. Well, I don't have to go. I can stay in jail. But I was thinking, well, I'll go there for 3 months, and you know, because he didn't put a limit of time. He just said, go there. So in my mind, I was like, that's cool. This ain't court ordered or anything. I'll just go there for 3 months. I told Janelle, you know, I'm for that. But I did, in the back of my mind, I really did want to quit. It was starting then. I wanted to quit. I wanted a different life. I wanted something new. And that coincided with me coming to Christtown, because I was willing to do what they asked, follow the rules, be obedient. And during that 3 months, now I'm going to bring you back to, I didn't even believe in God either. You know, I got here, some people, Todd, I mean, I didn't even admit to really anyone that I didn't believe in God. I remember Todd being one of the ones. There was several other people that told me some steps I might want to take to get a relationship with God, because I also was open for that. All along, I had, throughout my life, said, you know, if you're a real God, just show me. You know, and in my book, he never showed me, but he had been showing me, trying to pull me in all along. But he also realized at this point, when I was here at Christtown, I actually opened up and was like, going, okay, I'm ready, you know, I'm ready. And so I opened up, and he had been trying to get me all my life. And at this point, he went, finally, this guy's ready. And he took that chance to just show me how real he was in a beautiful way. I mean, he did it just over and over and over, the little things. I told this story at one of the biggest times. I was working in the nursery, and I was sitting out here, and I was listening to the radio. I was listening to K-Love, and it was a song. I don't even remember what song it was, but I was potting plants, putting them in a larger container, which is something I was used to doing because I used to grow marijuana a lot, so I was good at that. Anyway, but there was a song that came on, and it started talking about the power of God. It's His great and wonderful power. And it said, in part of the song, it said the birds will fly over. You know, the birds flying in the sky singing His praises. And by that time, a bunch of birds flew over and they were singing His praises. And I was like, wow, that was cool. And then, you know, and it was just still too. The wind wasn't blowing. And then it said in the song, the wind blows at His words. You know, He tells the wind what to do. And just a huge gust of wind blew through the trees, right at that point. You know, and I'm like, I started going, I'll be sitting and listening. And wow, that was cool too. And I said, you're showing me. And then another part of the song, he said, I reached down and I touched the grass. And I'm sitting there in the chair, there's the grass, but no one was around. I'm just sitting there and at that point, God showed me how real He was. And He had brought me here to the water.
Yes.
He brought me here to the water. And I finally drank. I finally drank the water. You know, He continues to do all these things. He continues to just overwhelm me, show me the miracles that He's got. Not just for me, but for several other people in here. I've seen so many families restored and lives put back together.
Yes.
People that came here in pieces.
Yes.
Put back and made whole.
Yes.
Through the love of God.
Yes.
And He has that power. He's the only one that has that power.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I'm blown away that the 4th of July, Pastor Bob and Sister Laura asked me to speak. And I did a short sermon. And,
you did good.
And God did good. And He did good. That CD, I let my mom hear a copy of it, and it really just broke my mom down, you know, because she'd been praying for me all these years, ceaseless praying. My mom's definitely a prayer warrior. I believe she is probably my angel, you know, because she has put so much prayer in me whenever no one else would believe in me at all. She knew. But, you know, she let some other people hear it and send out this thing, and some other churches are wanting me to actually come and speak there now. You know, and I never thought anything like that. For one thing, I never thought that I would be doing the things I'm doing now. Like I said, I came here with a plan to stay here 3 months and show my family I could stay off drugs. But in that time, I did let God take control. I let God take control of my life, and now I'm in uncharted water. But I know that God is definitely, He's my navigator. So, you know, I know I'll get to where I'm supposed to be as long as I let God lead. And I thank God for Christ. Amen.